Alrighty, we got another ship here. This is the summer event ship for 2026. I just unlocked it, so I figured I'd make a video. Kind of looks like almost like a mole that doesn't have like legs or anything like that. With the hairy, like almost like it's hair on the edges. Or maybe like I don't know, something. I named this ship actually Megaseed, which is kind of like the ones from Rick and Morty. So this is the Gomtuu. It's got really cool little design here on the edge there. I'm guessing those are the engines on there. It's kind of like a furry egg or something like that. It's kind of got a little bit of a snout type of thing in the front there. It's interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so I just unlocked this. This is from a TNG episode that has the Romulans and the Federation trying to get a hold of this ship because it's got some advanced technology or something like that, and it turns out it's like the last of its species. And the only way to communicate with it is with psychic people. So there's a Betazoid who is able to communicate with it, and they go off on adventures together or something like that. So, pretty cool. Classic next generation sci-fi type stuff. So, pretty cool. It's got its own bridge, which I'll show you at the end here. And let's get into it. Okay, so this is the Gomtuu. For my 4 weapons, I've got Quantum Phase Torpedo, the Agony Phaser Energy Torpedo. I have Wide Arc Phase Dual Heavy Cannons. I have the Phaser Wide Angle Dual Heavy Beam Bank from the Discovery Legends reputation. I'm pretty sure this one is from not a lockbox, a low bay crystal purchase. And then the reason I have these on here is because this is the way the ship came. It had two torpedoes, 2 dual beams, and then the back was all just beam arrays. So I figured I'd just do it the same way. So in the back, going along with this Quantum Phase, is I had the Quantum Phase Beam Array. Then I've got the Trilithium Enhanced Omnidirectional Phaser Beam Array. I've got the Prolonged Engagement Phaser Beam. And I have just a regular Phaser Beam. They were all phasers, so I went along with that. For my Universal Consoles, I've got 6 Isomagnetic Plasma Distribution Channels, or manifolds. They increase weapon power and stacking weapon power. For my Science Consoles, I've got 4 Pax Nanite Reinforced Circuitries, as well as the Subspace Fracturing Tunnel Field. And then I've got 2 Pax Directed Energy Distribution Manifolds. And, let me do these real quick. For my Shields, Warp, and Deflector, I've got the stuff from the Discovery Legends reputation. Secondary deflector is a solenoid deflector, and the impulse engine is a prevailing innervated impulse engine. And I have these because when I use firing modes like beam fire at will or torpedo scatter volley, it increases my flight speed, so it allows the ship to move really fast, which is awesome. Okay, so this, and then I've got devices. I've got red matter capacitor, Zinket the proto matter capacitor. They both increase power levels, and then the proto matter one actually increases energy weapon damage as well. And then I've got the subspace field modulator, which increases damage resistance. I've got the temporal negotiator, which decreases the bridge officer recharge time, and the SSR Antares, which increases damage, firing cycle haste, flight speed, and turn rate. And it also increases or decreases the time you have to wait to use universal consoles. So let's get down to business with the actual console that comes with this ship. This one is called Evolve, and it does different things based on different effects. The biggest one is that the damage resistance scales up as your shield capacity falls. So as you're being damaged by the enemy, your resistance to damage increases, which is kind of like a good balance. It's nice. And then there's different advantages depending on where you put this console. I really like when they do this because it does different things and it changes of gameplay depending on how you do a loadout, and it's all in the same console. So I have mine in Tactics. The reason it's in tactics is that when I activate it, it takes 50% of my auxiliary power, which isn't much, but there is something there, and it adds it to my weapon power, and it disables the enemy's weapon subsystems, which is pretty cool. Now, if I were to put this in science, it would add 50% of my auxiliary power to my shields and disable the enemy shield subsystems. If I did it in engineering, it would add that auxiliary power to engine power and disable the enemy engines. And then, of course, if I put it in universal, those ones would change it up altogether and add 25% of both shield and engine power, add it backwards to auxiliary, and then from there it would disable the enemy auxiliary systems. So you really can, just do whatever you want with it depending on how you have your ship set up. So if you have a ship that's set up with like exotic damage, then you could stick this thing in your universal console, and when you activate it, it increases your auxiliary power based on your shield and engine power, and it increases all the damage that you're dealing through the exotic particle generator stuff. So that would be great for things like non-traditional damage like cold or fire or a couple other ones like radiation and things like that. So it's really cool, and it really changes things up. So this one, we're going to go ahead and start with let's go ahead and attack some enemies. I've already parked my ship right where they show up, so let's just activate them and get to work. So see, I've disabled all. There, see? Notice as I attack them, none of them are attacking me anymore. And the reason they're not attacking me is because I turned off their weapon subsystems. Oh, there we go. Now that one's back on. But that's how amazing is that you basically control the battlefield for a little while, just based on your weapon or that console. You take off their weapons. It's fantastic. So it's a lot of fun. The ship is very strong. Seems like they're having a hard time doing any damage to it at all. So this is a effect that I've got going here. I did a jam target sensors, and it allows a photonic ship to show up and attack the enemy real quick. I'm not doing much damage here. There we go. And I don't know where my I lost one of my things over here. Huh. There it is. That was weird. That thing disappeared for some reason. Okay. So there it is. I mean, we did pretty good against these enemies. I mean, they are basic enemies, but still, the ship does pretty good, and it's pretty survivable. So let's go ahead and use that again, but this time... Ah, nuts. No, I want me to do it. Darn it. I should have done it before I started the next thing. But we'll just do that again. Turn off anybody's weapons. So it charges up for a little while, and then... There. Disables everybody's weapons, which is amazing. And then we'll just do some stuff that recharges that, and I'll do it again. There we go. And a giant furry space egg lives to fight another day. Okay, so that's that one. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like the way it looks. Looks like it'll be fun to play. The universal console that changes as you move from slot to slot is fantastic. I love that they do that. It's a lot of fun. And if you haven't unlocked this yet this summer, I think there's still a couple of days. There's going to be a couple of days after I upload this. I would suggest get as much progress as you can, just doing the missions over in Ryza, and get yourself these furry space egg. Beat your enemies. Okay, that's all for this one. Enjoy.